Hello, my Zesty Lemons. It is Eileen, and thank you so much for stopping by Zesty Tarot. If this is your first time watching me, welcome. My name is Lee. Like I said before, I am an intuitive reader, and for this channel, I like to focus on celebrities in hopes, let me put this out here, in hopes that whatever circumstances they are going through, this will help you to understand them more. This is not the goal. I am not trying to make this a gossip channel. Even if I vocalize my opinion about the situation, at the end of the day, whatever celebrity that I choose to focus on, it is to encourage us, the quote-unquote regular people, to understand them a little bit more, whether they are controversial or if they're just, out here living their best lives. Perhaps you can get some inspiration for them on your endeavors. So anyways, oh, and also the comments will be, I'm debating on whether or not I want to keep the comments on or not. Just because I do not want trolls to think that this is their outlet to try to put their nonsense on here, because we're not about that, and I'm not going to tolerate that. So if you have something to say, if I was to leave comments on, you say something slick, guess what? You're going to get removed because you are irrelevant. Okay? You need to go and heal. As far as repeating requests, I'm going to decide whether or not I want to do those. Because like I said, in the reading with New Jeans, or maybe it was the Drake video, I'm only just tapping in, and I don't mind assisting, but when it comes to like personal things as far as their love relationships and stuff like that is going, I'm not going to fuel anyone into believing that they are going to be in a relationship with them. Okay, that is something that you have to take it upon yourself to do if you believe that you and that person has a connection. Simply because I don't want to be the catalyst for you breaking your own heart. You know what I mean? So I'm still thinking about that. Well, anyways, this is going to focus on Sabrina Carpenter. And I have no idea who this person is. I was with my therapist and we went to Dunkin' Donuts and I bought Sabrina's, it was like a strawberry milkshake type. I don't know. It was really good. That's all I know. And I had asked the question, like, who is Sabrina exactly? Because I didn't know. And they was like, oh, she's a singer. So I was like, okay, you know what? That's going to be my topic. I want to know, excuse me, I want to know more about her. And so I went online to find a picture of her. And so now we're going to tap in to see what's going on in her world. She kind of reminds me of, I know she probably would be annoyed, and I'm not trying to do this, but off of first glance, she reminds me of Taylor Swift. I don't know, there's just something about her that I dig. So let's go ahead and tap in to see exactly what's going on with Miss Sabrina, and just so her well-being and what's going on in her career and what to expect from her. Okay. So, God, thank you so much for this opportunity to read for Miss Sabrina Carpenter. And so I would like to know more about her, what she has going on, how she's going to help the, her community, and, just an overall generalized message on what we can expect from her. All right. So the first card out, we have be authentic. Everything else is just exhausting. I love that. And I do dig, like I said, there's something about her. I refrained from listening to her music because I just wanted to get a raw sense of what she's about. And so, to me, I feel that this is saying that, I don't know exactly when she came out, but what she's got going on, I think, is going to be highly praised because of her authenticity. And if, in fact, she is struggling with that, then the universe is encouraging for her to continue to do so, because I think that she's on to something. The next one, have a little bit of faith. Remember, a little bit of faith goes a long way. Remember that. So this is someone that I feel is very rooted in either religion or spirituality. And so what I love about that is that she is very humble to that degree. I also feel that if there are times where her authenticity is challenged, if she continues to believe in what she's doing, like I said before, she's going to go very far. And these two go hand in hand also, because when you tap into your originality, and if it does not align with individuals that does not understand your purpose of existence, you are going to experience people that are going to try to challenge you in some type of way, because, you know, the soulless would rather for you to stick to low vibrational energy. And I just don't think that that's something that she does. We're going to see what else we can pull. Remember that it is okay to be happy. It really is. So I'm not for certain if through her authenticity, which I think that individuals that choose to write about real experiences, they have the tendencies to talk about the things that they believe affected them the most. So perhaps she has songs where she's talking about heartache, or maybe she's talking about, growing up, or, anything like that. But nonetheless, for this to say, remember that it is okay to be happy, it really is. I feel that as of right now, whatever music that she's pushing out, it may seem to be negative to a degree, but like I said, some individuals may take that as like they want you to remain on the low vibrational side. But I feel like what she's trying to do is uplift in a way. So, and maybe that's her message. It's okay to be happy with yourself, to be empowered by yourself. You may not necessarily have to be in a relationship to focus on happiness. We're going to see exactly what this is all talking about. And then the last one at the bottom of the deck says to trust yourself always and trust others once they have earned it. Okay. So I feel that this could be alluding to either, like I said, personal experiences that she has experienced, or maybe she is learning, like a lot of artists, about who they can trust. So it's very important for her to guard herself at all times and not give in to everything else, because we've seen I don't know if she's a pop star, but I'm going to keep it that way just because, like I said, I don't know her music. I don't know what genre she's in, but I think about Britney Spears and, Christina Aguilera and, other pop idols where they were forced to conform to a certain dynamic. And that's cute for a certain amount of time. But the question is, when can I really express myself? Okay, when will you allow me to truly show you what I'm capable of? Because we know that the industry, they want you to believe that these individuals are absolutely flawless. They create this narrative that they're dreamy and that they can have any man or any woman that they want. But the thing is, you got to understand that they are real human beings just like you and I. And so they go through things just like you and I. You know, just like you have to walk around here on a regular basis with your guard up, because especially in this day and age, a lot of individuals can't be trusted. They want to be close to you for whatever reason. And the same thing applies to her, you know, because she's a beautiful woman. You know, you may have a lot of degenerate energy trying to, you know, swarm around her to see if they can get what they can out of her. And that's not what we're going to do. At least I hope that that's what she understands. Like, this is why you need to keep yourself protected. Keep yourself grounded. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals that want to see you succeed and truly want to see you succeed. Don't surround yourself with yes men and women that will only do what you say or what you suggest simply because they hope that they can get something out of you. Okay? So, with that being said, let's go ahead and shuffle the cards to get a better understanding as to why these cards were chosen. God, thank you so much for this introduction. And so I would like to know why you chose these cards. And also, with having a little faith goes a long way with remember that it's okay to be happy. If for whatever reason she is kind of second guessing her abilities, I highly encourage her to continue to push forward, because there's something very special about her. And I think that she needs to be respected just like everyone else. But remember that all the greats had to go through a period where they were second guessing themselves. And especially when you have cancel culture and all of these individuals that will do anything that they can to try to cancel you, you know, you got to protect yourself. You got to protect your sanity when it comes to this. Let's see here. Okay. So with be authentic, everything else is just exhausting. We have the Hermit card in reverse. And so the caption says, there are some things that must be done on your own. Okay. So considering the fact that it is in the reverse, I kind of feel as though she was holding herself back for a while due to the fact that maybe she didn't believe in herself, or maybe she was put in a box that she didn't want to be put in. And so for a time, I believe that she was a hermit, you know, because in the upright, this is asking for you to withdraw from the world to gain some type of introspection of some sort. And then when you're ready, step out and show the world what you're truly made of. So I feel like now it's time for her to come out. You know what I mean? It's like, we're not going to, I'm not going to dim my light for anyone. I watched other people go through things, and I want to be different from those individuals. Okay. So we have the Four of Wands. Family is whoever makes you feel the most safe and comfortable being you. Okay. So as far as a little faith goes a long way, remember that paired with the Four of Wands, if it is a family dynamic that she's searching for, maybe she's trying to find her true fan base, because she understands, like I said, with the cancel culture, and then you just have some individuals that just may not like you for the things that you talk about. She has to remember to weed out those individuals and, you know, continue to push forward. Long story short, you continue to push forward and your true family is going to come about. She will be successful. There is a celebration that is happening here. Don't know if her birthday is coming around or not, but it could allude to that. But I just feel as a whole that this is talking about securing a solid foundation with those that genuinely love her. So if there's any type of doubt in her mind that she's not going to find that, I disagree. I do believe that she will. She just has to keep her head high. Don't focus on your past, because you've came a long way. And also don't focus on current situations. Like if there's people that are taking jabs at her because she does this, or maybe she dresses too provocatively, or whatever the case may be, weed them out. You're saying weed them out, because you have people that made a profession to criticize. And if they did not make it a profession, for whatever reason, they believe that they have the right to say whatever they feel is on their mind. It's one thing to have an opinion, but it's another to try to mask it as a fact, because we don't know these human beings at all. We don't know anything about them. We only see what we see on camera, and that's it. You don't walk around with them day to day to see how they are when they're angry or when they're sad. You just know what you know based off of the lyrics. So with the Moon card, it says taking time for self-reflection is essential. Remember that it is okay to be happy. It really is. So I'm wondering if she has created albums where she was honing in on past traumas of some sort, whether it was due to her childhood, or perhaps it was due to a relationship or several relationships where she felt broken or taken advantage of some sort. So I feel that at this time, moon bathing, basically basking in the lunar phases, whatever phase that it is. Usually we like to focus on the new moon and the full moon. Maybe she's someone that writes down intentions, you know, and she sets goals for herself to ensure that she can break whatever cycles that she's in. This is also speaking on the subconscious, where she battles that on a regular basis, you know, but I think she's going to be okay. And also, there are wolves that are on her robe. And I feel like she, again, is trying... Okay. She wants the family structure. She wants to find her soul tribe. She wants to find her true fan base. Because as of right now, with these wolves, I heard lone wolf. You know, she walks around until she can find her true pack. You know, she wants to be the leader of her own pack to help guide them the way that she believes that they will be successful. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Cups. Spilled tea isn't the end of the world. Okay. So I look at this as regret. I also see this as remorse and sadness. So her songwriting might, I mean, strongly, be surrounded by like heartache songs, like breakup songs. But the thing that she has to understand is, yes, these 3 spilled cups of tea might have devastated her, because these cups, whether it's 3 relationships that she was in, or maybe it was 3 traumatic experiences that she was in, yes, they have caused her to focus on this. However, with the 2 of cups behind her, it's asking for her to pick up these 2 cups and move forward. You see what I'm saying? So the 5 of cups is heavy energy, but this also symbolizes a change. You know what I mean? I think that by getting everything out that she needs to, she's going to find her sense of empowerment. So I kind of feel that, especially when I look at the Wolf card, her songwriting, it's wonderful that it is going to touch the hearts of those that need to hear her music. But I think essentially it is for her to heal what she needs to heal. And I think that right now she's kind of focusing on these things, but once she gets it all out, then she'll be able to take those 2 cups and apply that to someone else. So I feel like, yeah, she's detoxing, she's purging all of the past energy, and then we're going to see a new side of her. So let's do a clarification here. Why did you choose these cards, God? Let's see. Okay, right here. So we have the Fool card. So I'm wondering if this is her first time like really debuting. Like I said before, I don't know anything about her. And I'm wondering if she's new. I don't know if she has any previous albums or not. But I feel that she's definitely going to take a risk. And okay, and I also feel like with the new, excuse me, get it together, Lee. Okay. Because she's new, she's vulnerable. But she's stepping out of her comfort zone. And she's having fun with it. And I think that's the takeaway here. The fact that she's being carefree and very playful. And just allowing the wind to carry her wherever she sees fit. And I love the fact that this, I think it's a robin, not a robin, but a blue jay is holding her to ensure that when she does land, you know, that it's going to be a safe one as she plays and frolics and I ain't gonna say frolic, but you know, enjoy being up top, you know. So this is an opportunity for her to really stand out the way that she wants to. I just want her to continue with that momentum, you know, but also realize and understand the effects of not everyone is going to like you. For whatever reason, we can never explain that, or understand that some people just feel some type of way. But just as long as she's having fun, that authenticity is going to reign true. We have the Eight of Swords. So I think that sometimes she feels boxed in. And that's what I was saying. Like, I kind of feel like she may... What was the... Okay, having a little face. Okay. I feel that she could be placed in a certain box and she doesn't want to be in it. But the thing is, sometimes she places herself there with the self-doubt of, can I really get people to see that I'm the real deal, that I really have something to talk about? And for those that may feel like, well, all she ever talks about is sadness or this and this and this, maybe you should look at it from a different perspective. Maybe you should possibly learn something with it, because maybe it could apply to you. But I do feel that there's a lot of overthinking, you know, when she's, you know, with herself. We have the Page of Swords. So this is definitely someone who is very studious. She's going to learn everything that she needs to learn about being in the industry. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like Pages is, and I'm not saying that she's immature or petty, but what I'm saying is, you know, you have to start as a page because they are messengers. So I could say that, you know, maybe she's focusing on targeting a younger audience to kind of help them to understand their feelings when it comes to relationships. I could also see this as for her being naive herself. And she's just expressing what she's feeling at the time, and then later on down the line she may look back on some stuff and be like, yeah, maybe that wasn't song worthy, but it'll still be a hit to someone else. So that's why I say, like, she's very studious. She is open to learning what needs to be out and what it takes to be a true songwriter. I'm not for certain if she writes her own songs or not. I feel like she is, and maybe some of the lyrics, maybe she's getting critiqued by individuals who are the connoisseurs of songwriting. They may think that her music is immature or whatnot, but you know, this is her, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's stepping out. That's the way that you learn. You know, you got to step out your comfort zone, and I hate to say it, but like, face life's wrath so that it can develop character, not to destroy you, but to develop character. And then we have the Lover's card. Maybe someone that she was once with is going to feel some type of way about the song, because I mean, she's not coming out and saying their names, but their guilt is going to call them to the forefront to where they're going to want to try to take a jab at her or whatnot. It's kind of similar to Taylor Swift, not trying to compare them because they are their own individualities, but you know, they looked at Taylor as someone who was very dramatic, and you know, she only got into relationships just to talk about them, and that's not the case. I don't think that she's trying to pander on or even prey upon relationships or individuals when she gets into a relationship with them just to badmouth them. You know, I think that she's, you know, when it comes to the relationships, and if it affected her in a bad light, then she's gonna write about it, because she's thinking about, well, if I went through this, I wonder if someone else has, and if they have, then let me talk about this in hopes that they can get a sense of peace or clarity the way that I did. But she also has to understand that not everyone's situation is the same, but we'll see. So With the Lovers card, I feel that we know that this is Gemini energy, and this is basing it upon a major decision. And also understanding that even with herself, she's not out here trying to make it seem like she's just this goddess of perfection. She's not. Because with the yin yang, you know, with a little bit of good, you have a little bit of shadow, and vice versa. With a little bit of the shadow, you have a little bit of good. So I feel like she's trying to balance this out. She could also be a Gemini. I'm not for certain. Let's see here. But it ultimately talks about a choice. You know, maybe this is choices in relationships, and she's, you know, describing the good and the bad of relationships of some sort. All right, so let's go ahead and I got my cards all the way over here, and I don't know why. Give me a second. All right. Yeah, so right here we have the Knight in Shining Armor, the Knight of Cups, and then on the back we have a crab. Okay, so since we pulled it on this side, I feel like she is her own knight in shining armor, to be honest with you. And she's coming back to show you or share with you her perspective on love at this time. I don't think that her viewpoint on relationships is going to stay this way. And I think that as time progresses, she's going to learn what it means to remain true to herself. Now, I just feel like on this side, this is someone that is offering nighttime thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like she's wanting something that is very real. She doesn't have time for anything that is whimsical and fairy tale like. Because I think that the experiences that she's had has shaped her to and helped her to grow to understand that the only person that is really going to save you and love you for who you are is you. Why is the Eight of Swords here? Okay. So we have the Eight of Pentacles with the Eight of Swords. And so how I'm looking at this on this side, yeah, I think that she's working hard to yeah, because it looks like he's showing him how to do this. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like her audience, she's telling a story in hopes that they will grow. And this could also allude to individuals that are going through like-minded situations as her. And so, like I said before, she's wanting to show you how to be empowered within yourself without being trapped in your circumstances. Because on this side, it's just him focusing on the craft. Now he has someone else that he can show as his own disciples to show them exactly how to go about it. This could also be a reflection of her. Maybe she's been in the industry for a while maybe isn't even as a child, and she's seen her family work, or maybe she was in the spotlight somehow. And so this could be alluding to, hold on. Okay, because for whatever reason, I'm getting this vibe that she's trying to escape, because I keep thinking about that box. Maybe she was in something before. I mean, you guys would know more than I do. Maybe she was like a childhood star of some sort. And so now she's trying to branch out. But for whatever reason, maybe she's afraid that she's going to be seen as just that childhood star rather than the artist that she's wanting to become. It's kind of giving me like Raven Simone, or oh, I can't remember the rest of them. Like what, Victoria or something like that. Even Zendaya, like individuals like that. But nonetheless, this could be her working hard to empower the younger generation, or individuals close to her age. Okay. So I'll show you this one. So right here with the Nine of Wands, this is someone that is very resilient. They've been through a lot of battles. Okay. And so this is someone that has, like I said, they've been through a lot of battles, but they still have the essence, the drive to continue to fight. And on this side, we see someone that is coming out of this cave. So it's letting me know that she has something worth protecting. And I do think that perhaps she is on the forefront. Like I said, I just keep hearing empowerment. She wants to help women to, and young girls, to understand their essence. I kind of feel like I hear this, don't let the cuteness fool you. I can be a savage if I really want to be. And I don't know if that's her dynamic, but maybe behind closed doors she could be. So let me see what this is. So this is the Death card. So on this side, we see these two individuals that are being approached by Death himself. However, on this side, I'm gonna have to look this one up. Hold on. Hold on. Because I'm still working with these. So I don't want to say anything that may not make sense. So it says that death comes to all regardless of wealth or social station. And it's the same for the death of the parts of ourselves that no longer serve its purpose. When the time comes, the reaper must reap. But this card says that you have been given a chance to prove yourself and that the outcome will be positive. The alchemist's expression is hopeful and the merchant is blissfully serene. Respond with grace and to the inevitability to change. Okay. Okay, so this is the rebirth part, because when you focus on death itself, and we're talking about metaphorical death, when a situation arises where the longevity of something that you hold dear comes to an end, it is fearful, but it's going to have to happen. Not to try to punish you because you've done something wrong in your past life, you know, but because of the fact that you've outgrown the situation. And so I feel, yes, because I see the flower here. So yes, this is talking about a rebirth. So I think that there's going to come a time where she's going to change that dynamic. And some individuals are not going to like that. Because like I said, they want to keep her in this box. But I feel like this is a phase that she's going to be going through. And then when she's done with that, she's moving on. And it's highly encouraged that y'all accept it. Or somebody accepts it, because she's talking about this for right now, but this is not something that she's going to keep on holding to. Because yes, heartbreak is the most powerful emotion that a songwriter or anybody could experience. And yes, a lot of us can relate to that sense of pain, but eventually they're going to have to outgrow that and talk about happiness, which was what it was saying right here. It's okay to be happy. It really is. All right, so let's go ahead and shuffle these cards. It's the Green Witch Tarot, and my cards, or my booklet, is right here for whatever reason. I need to get it together. So I think as of right now, yeah, I think that she's where she needs to be. I think that she is one of the voices of empowerment that today's youth would appreciate. And I don't think that, okay, how can I put it? Like, I think that her songs should be listened to, but I also feel like you should apply, just like with a tarot reading, right? Oftentimes you'll hear a lot of us say, well, this reading may or may not resonate. So take whatever matters to you and then leave the rest. I feel like that's what is true for her songs too. This does not necessarily mean that you need to, like, for example, Carrie Underwood, talk about how she dug her key into the side of somebody's car. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not asking you to do that. She's just, expressing to you what she did. Even if she didn't do it, it's still a catchy lyric. So don't take everything literal of what she may say. Just apply what matters to you and transmute it into a positive sense. Because we're not trying to walk around here bitter and jaded. You know, she's purging all of this out. So this isn't a hate men club or anything like that. She's just calling out individuals that has broken her heart. Okay. Do we have anything to say? Did I see one flip? Hold on. Thought I saw one flip. I guess not. Okay. Okay. Well, that's too many, but I'll take these anyway. So we have trust with basil. And we have positivity with marigold. All right. So with number 21, if we add them together, the 2 and the 1 makes a 3. So this is, well, actually, let me break this down further. So with the number 2, this could give me the High Priestess vibes. And then 1 representing the Magician, which talks about that you have everything at your disposal to implement whatever visualizations that you see. Okay, but then when you add them two together, you get the Empress card. Okay, and this is someone who is about beauty, creativity, fertility, and anything that she sets her minds to, not mind to. My goodness, I cannot stop stammering. She's a nurturer of herself and those close to her. So let's take a look here. So I like to read the little quotes here. And it says, the garden suggests there may be a place where we can meet halfway. I'm sorry, we can meet nature halfway. So it says that basil can indicate energy surrounding trust and the workings of relationships. Consideration and putting more into gaining harmonious grounds are required. And although this does not include romance, basil is referring to any relationship or connection. Education and travel are all areas that are shining with positive vibes at the moment. Okay, so be wary of being in situations or relationships that you know are not good for you. So, and this is the embodiment of all three: the Magician, the High Priestess, and the Empress. Okay, because you have to go through the motion in order for you to become the divine feminine, whether you are a male or a female. And with the Page of Swords here, being able to open yourself up to learning about the choices that you make when it comes to connections. Through and through, it's about learning how to stand your ground and to put up boundaries for protection for yourself or anyone that is involved in your life. Okay, and then especially with her, and like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be relationships, romantic relationships, but even partnerships, people that who she collabs with or whatnot. She has to learn this, to not be a stepping stone, or being treated like a child simply because she's new and may be naive to some things. And so with number 40, we have positivity. And so you could break that down, highlighting the double emphasis on the High Priestess. But I also see this as the Emperor, which is the next phase of the Empress, taking charge and not being a dictator on anything, but just being true to who you are and setting those boundaries and those rules and regulations of which you won't tolerate. But through and through, just speaking on positivity as a whole. So it says that flowers make people better, happier, and more helpful. They are sunshine, food, and medicine for the soul. And it says a better understanding is indicated and a reason to be more optimistic about outcomes and the roads to get there. There are opportunities for nurturing encounters, and a general aura of happiness pervades. Marigolds helps us to focus on the positive aspects of even the most difficult events. Your inner child may need to come out and play more. And be sure to take advantage of creative invitations. Be wary of not having all the facts and emotional blockages. Okay, so yes, it's very important for her during her journey as an artist. Like I said, I don't know how long she's been on the scene, but just learning how to handle these crooked individuals out here, placing boundaries, not getting emotional about the situation, but rather using her intellect and her intuition and placing those boundaries and rules so that people know that she's not to be trifled with. I think that's going to it's going to take her very, very far. Because like I said, from the vibe, it just feels good. And I wish the best for her. And if she's still writing songs about heartbreaks or whatnot, I do hope that she is able to move on from that. Because I mean, heartaches, they're something. You know, we've all experienced them. You know, except for those that's never been in relationships. But in my honest opinion, I could say that I envy you. You know, but just take the messages as, you know, a lesson for you to, you know, if this was to come about, whatever circumstances she's talking about, and you do step out into the dating game, just keep those gems in mind to help you to pursue relationships and to understand them more. Because these degenerates out here, whether they're a man or a woman, they're just low vibrational energies that are hoping to take advantage of someone for their essence, and they're an empty soul because they don't want to focus on their traumas. So they go around trying to hurt as many people as they can because they refuse to acknowledge that they're hurt. They feel like they're doing themselves a service by getting back at anyone that may, you know, remind them of the person that hurt them initially. And so she's out here to tell you, like, this is what we ain't gonna do. I feel like I need to pull one more card. Leadership. Okay, I'm glad that I did that because I was just like, it kept bothering me, and I don't like odd numbers, even though this is an even, but I like to have all three. All right, so with broccoli, with leadership, number 6. Yeah, she wants to pave the way for the new generation. So it says, plant your own garden and decorate your soul instead of waiting for someone else to bring you your flowers. I love that. Yes, I think this is the overall message. So she's talking about trusting, positivity, and leadership. All beautiful aspects of the Emperor and the Empress. Okay. So it says, it is time to take initiative and step up, even if this means throwing your hat into many rings. Do not turn down opportunities that have been an inkling of promise, as there is something circling in the moment that has a lot of potential. Good luck, growth, health, improvements, and physical gains are all on offer, as are moments of passion. Be careful to ensure you delegate as needed and that you speak up for yourself. Okay. So if this is personally for her, then I would definitely say that with the trust, you trust yourself and then trust others once they've earned your trust. Don't accept everything that is offered, but at the same time, if you're going to do it, then you make sure that you keep your eyes and ears open at all times and ensure that you get the respect that you deserve for being on that track, or even if it's dealing with her label, you know what I'm saying, like she needs to let them know what she's not going to tolerate. Have your people on the side to discuss matters with you and listen. I'm not saying that she's going to throw a fit, but just in case, like, if you see something that could harm you, or maybe you don't see it, but someone like that Fool card, you know, they're there beside you to guide you alongside of the situation. So listen to them. But through and through, I think that she is going to be very successful. And I'm rooting for her. I'm trying to see if I see anything else before I close this out. No, I think that's it. So I'm so sorry because I'm stammering a lot. It's still the shadow of the retrograde. What's the day? Today is the 13th. And so the retrograde ended on the 11th. So I won't I won't stop stammering at least until what, the 23rd possibly. I don't know. But I hope that it made sense, and I hope you come back and check my channel out again. So if you enjoy, I would love a thumbs up. You can hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one. And remember this, when life gives you lemons, always keep it zesty. Take care, everyone. Bye.